Hey TVs. This video is kind of a second parter in my information about Mabon series that I thought I'd share with you. This video, I'll be reading a story that I found while researching Mabon Lore to kind of learn more about the holiday and whatnot. The story is kind of geared more towards children, but it's not to say that older people won't enjoy it. I'm 21 and I absolutely fell in love with the story. I thought it was gorgeous and beautiful. So that's why I'm sharing it with you guys, because I really feel that no matter what your age, you'll still enjoy the story and the message that it brings. So I'll read it to you. Here we go. Grandfather, is the next story of the gods the one for Mabon? Is it sad? Asked the little girl as she looked up with tears in her eyes. I don't know if we can take another sad story. The grandfather paused for a moment and looked down at her upturned face and said, The next two stories are sadder than the last, but they only make you sad because you have forgotten how it all ends and begins at Yule. You mean the rebirth of the Sun King and the goddess becoming young again? Yes, children, that is exactly what I mean. For you see, there must be sadness if there is to be happiness, or we wouldn't appreciate it. There must be winter for every summer, so that everything can have a chance to rest. And that is why and what the Sabbath is about. It is the finishing of the work to prepare for the winter, the harvest of the fruit and vine, and the storing of supplies and repairing of tools and such. But it is also the time that the goddess leaves us on her annual journey to the underworld, in search of her lost love, the Sun King. For with his death, the magic that they had lain in the spring had begun to fade, and winter was coming fast. And this was a fitting time for her to leave, because the fruit that is harvested is like her. They are the womb that holds the seed with a promise of new life, and she is the same. So she went to the shore and lit a bonfire of the sacred woods and began to chant and to dance. Longer and faster did she dance. Around and around she spun, and finally her spirit lifted from her body and began its long journey down to the underworld. I will not speak of the scary things that she faced, from giants and ogres to dragons and other worms that all seeked to block her way. But none was strong enough to block her path, for she came in love everlasting, and of course, having been this way before, she knew the ways to avoid most dangers. But finally she came to a pool glowing with golden light, and the scent of roses filled the air around her. She had finally found her lost love, but he slept with the sleep of death on the edge of the pool. With her voice raised in song, she began to wash the body of the fallen Sun King. She sang of power and of love, of racing across the green grass in spring, and the warmth of the sun in late summer, the smell of all the flowers in bloom, and the feel of swimming in cool water on a hot summer day. All the things that the Sun King could bring back to the earth if only he lived. Finally, after what seemed an eternity, the Sun King awoke and looked at her and smiled. My goddess, he said, I have not the strength to return in this body. I will not survive the journey back into the land of the living, but I will dissolve my body and go into you as a spark of life that you can foster and grow until the time is right and ordained. And with a last breath he did just that. With a burst of light, his body turned into energy and infused the goddess, further aging her, but giving her the strength to make a new sun within her. And so, with this, she began her journey back to the land of the living. Now see, children, there is always hope, even in the darkest of times. The sun has begun its journey back to join us in the land of the living, and the goddess, while apart from us, is soon to return." With this the children smiled, for the story wasn't as sad as they had expected it to be, and it let them know that all was going to be okay.